Yo, it's the Co.
And yo, it's the Cone. And today we have a little Breakout XI. Rules are pretty simple. We have 5 bench slots, our normal 4-3-3 with a goalie. Choose a team that haven't broken out yet. They don't have to be these youngsters, never played a senior team minute. Just someone that you think is going to take a big step up this season. We're going to start with the bench. We have 5 players each. There was no league or requirement or anything for the bench, but once we get to the starting lineup, we'll talk about the rules for that. Marco, would you like to start us off?
Yes, my first bench spot, I have Cole Palmer. I feel like he's going to make a big jump in the city lineup. I feel like he's going to be in every FA Cup, Carabao Cup starter. That's my first bench spot.
Yeah, I like that. My first bench slot is kind of cheating, kind of not. I have Emil Smith-Rowe. So he kind of had that breakout season last year, but he barely played this year. And I think he's going to come back and take that step forward again and maybe even take a step further than the one that he made last year.
My second bench player is Takfusa Kubo. I feel like he's going to make a big impact in the Real Sociedad lineup this year. I feel like all that overrated stuff is going to come to an end this year. I feel like he's going to make a big impact this year.
My second pick was Rokas Puskás, American player, plays in Croatia, was really good in the UEFA, the Youth Champions League. He was playing really well for them, and I think he takes the step up, plays for the senior team, and does really well this year.
My third bench spot is Mamadou Duarse, I think how you say it, from Mönchengladbach. I feel like he's going to make a big start, and I feel like this year is going to be his big come up. And I feel like if he does make a big comeback, next year he's going to move to a bigger team. Maybe Bayern Munich come up and get him, just, a farmers league for Munich. So maybe he makes a big move to a bigger team.
Yeah, that's a good one. My next pick is Yankuba Minte. He was at Feyenoord last season, I believe, and now he is getting signed by Newcastle. And I think he played somewhere else last year. He got signed by Newcastle and is going straight on loan to Feyenoord this upcoming season. So Newcastle clearly see a future in him, loaning him out to a league that is known for developing youngsters, and I think he's going to play a good amount for Feyenoord and play really well.
My next player is from Napoli, Alessio Zerbin. I feel like he's going to make a big impact in that midfield or in the attacking. If Osimhen goes, I know Chucky Lozano's leaving. If Carviacella is leaving, I think he's going to make a big impact for the Napoli side.
Yeah, I like that. My next pick is Lenny Yoro from Lille. I think he's a really good player. He did play a bit for Lille this season, but I think this year is the year where he takes that next step and becomes a regular in not only the bench but in the starting 11 as well.
For my fifth bench spot, I have Noah Holm. He is in Reims. I feel like with Balogun leaving, they need someone to fill in that spot, and I feel like Noah Holm is going to fill that spot in.
Yeah, I'm on that. My final bench slot is the only Manchester United player that I have on the list. It's Kobe Minu. Defensive midfielder. I think he's McTominay seems like he might be on his way out. Fred, almost 100% is on his way out. So I think Mainu takes that next step, takes that jump. Ten Hag loves him, thinks that he's the future of their midfield. And I think we're going to start to see that this year.
And now for the starting 11. At my goalkeeper, I have someone who's been in the shadows. I have Andriy Lunin at Real Madrid. Real Madrid don't have a backup goalkeeper. I know they're trying to find one, but I think Lunin will fill in that spot in the Copa del Rey, in the backup position for Courtois. He's not a bad goalkeeper. You can see in his early career, he was on loan, I'm pretty sure, but he is a very good player. He's Ukrainian's for the number one goalkeeper. I feel like he's going to have a breakout year this year.
Yeah, that's a good pick. My goalkeeper is a player that also plays in La Liga. I'm going to butcher his last name. I'm putting that out there now. Georgi Mamardashvili. I think I might have said that right. Yeah, young goalkeeper for Valencia. Played a bit last year, but I think, again, this year is the year. He should, I think, become Valencia's starting goalkeeper regularly, not just in those cup games, the occasional spot start. I think he is gonna become their regular starting goalkeeper.
Artlist.io.
I'm gonna start with my right back. I like Rico Lewis. Not Rico James. I know we said Rico James the last video. But Rico Lewis, I feel like if Kyle Walker doesn't sign, if the midfield is wide open for someone, I think Rico Lewis fills in that spot. He's a very young, very talented right back, center midfielder, and I feel like he fits in the Pep team.
Yeah, Rico Lewis is a very, very good player. My right back is Nikola Zalewski from Roma. Similar to some of my bench guys. Wasn't a regular, but he did play a bit. He did play the extra time in the Europa League final game, so they trust him in the big moments, and I think they're going to trust him every game for Roma this upcoming season.
For my first center back, it is Roma's newly signed Evan Ndicka. I feel like he's going to make a big impact in that Jose Mourinho's lineup. I feel like his transfer market value is going to skyrocket this year in a very park the bus system with Jose Mourinho. That's my first center back.
Park the bus tactic. No one does it better. My first center back is Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice. A lot has been spoken of Nice recently, and not much of it is positive, but it's mainly in the management and the ownership side of things, and the players just have to continue to play. And I think Todibo is going to do a phenomenal job at playing for Nice this season.
For my second center back, I have Leo Østigård from Napoli. I feel like Kim Min-jae is leaving sooner rather than later, and Napoli are going to need a center back to fill in that spot. And I feel like Østigård is that perfect man for the replacement of Kim Min-jae.
Yeah, that's a good one. My second center back is Levi Colwill. At Chelsea now. He was at loan on Brighton this season. Coming back to Chelsea, I guess, this upcoming season. And with the fire sale going on at Chelsea, I think it gives him a perfect opportunity to come in and make that step up in clubs, even if technically he's going down in the Premier League standings. he's going to take that step up to a bigger name club and handle the pressure really well.
For my left back, I have Alejandro Balde from Barcelona. I feel like with Jordi Alba out and the aging fullbacks that they have, I think Balde makes a very impressive second year in the lineup. I know Xavi has so much faith in him on that left side, and I feel like this is the year that his transfer market value also skyrockets.
Yeah, he's the show now. He's the left back of the future for them. My left back, our final defender, is Matías Oliveira from Napoli. Played, I can't say a big part yet. I think he will play a big part in their success this year, but played a role in the Napoli team that demolished Syria. And he played a good amount, did well for them, played a bit in the Champions League, made a jump, but I think a bigger jump is coming this year for him at Napoli.
And to start off my midfield, I have a center defensive mid. I have Ismail Gabardi from PSG. I think if the transfer rumors are true and all of these center midfielders that PSG are trying to sell are happening, I think he makes a big impact in that lineup next year, and we see why he is the future of PSG.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I had a different PSG midfielder. I had Warren Zaire-Emery. Really young. He was starting games at 16 years old for PSG in pretty big games, especially once Neymar went down. They had to move some things around, had to try people out, and he was one of them, and I thought he did pretty well, and I think it's going to be even better this upcoming season.
My center mid, I have Ryan Gravenbach from Bayern Munich. If Kimmich does leave, he needs to fill in that spot, and I feel like he is the perfect match for that spot. And that's why I have him in my center midfield.
That's a good pick. My second midfielder is Cole Palmer. You had him on the bench. I have him in my starting lineup. A lot of the mainstay City players seem to be on their way out, whether it be to Saudi Arabia or to elsewhere, maybe somewhere in Europe. But it opens up some spots. Even if they got Kovacic, but there are going to be some spots open, and Cole Palmer seems to be ready to take one of those spots.
For my center attacking mid, I've talked about him a lot, and I have Harvey Elliott at my center attacking mid. I feel like he makes a big impact into the starting 11 in in Liverpool. I don't know if Klopp has the faith in him, but if Liverpool have a very downside in the first half, I think Klopp gets fired and Harvey Elliott seems to play better, not in Klopp's system, but if Klopp does go out, I think Harvey Elliott has a very, very good season this year.
My final midfielder is an attacking midfielder as well. It's Giovanni Reyna. Spoke on him a lot, but he didn't play a lot for his club this season. He had the best goals and assists per 90 on that team. It was near the best in the Bundesliga, I believe. And they didn't give him regular time. And I think whether it's at Dortmund or somewhere else next season, someone is going to give him the keys to a team as an attacking midfielder, and he's going to show that the Nations League games weren't a fluke, and that he can do that on a weekly basis, a nightly basis, whatever it may be.
And now for the attackers, my left wing, I have Jeremy Doku from Rennes. I feel like he makes a big impact into that lineup. I feel like I know they're in the Conference League, and I feel like Rennes have a great chance of winning the Conference League because they made it pretty far into the Europa League. And I would love to see Jeremy Doku go to a very big team. He's the future of Belgium's left side. And let's see what he does this year.
My left wing is Amine Ad. See you guys later.